everyone. I hope that you're doing fantastic. If you're new, sometimes I just get on this channel and just chit chat. My name is Shannon, and I'm glad to have you if you stay for the chit chat. If not, then maybe next time around. I bring out all kinds of different stuff on this channel. Some things people already know about, and a lot of things people don't. But anyway, welcome if you are new, and if those of you who are back and returning, welcome back, and thank you for being a part of my process and allowing me to be a part of yours. So today I was thinking about the sixth letter of the Hebrew language, which is the Vav. It used to be the W-A-W, and now it's the V-A-V, okay? And it's the Y. The pictograph is the Y, which we point out, quite often, that the Y can look like all kinds of things. It can look like a snake's tongue talking out of both sides of your mouth. In the runes, it represents a radical change of something. Also, a maximum protection is found there as well with the Y. But it is, and I also bring it out by looking at it. I always bring out Yahweh when I'm looking at it as well, in the card itself. And anyway, that card came out, and that rune, the WV, came out. It's the W and or the V, came out in the rune yesterday when I tried to do an original reading from the Hebraic language, and was explaining on that video how I couldn't get it uploaded, and it came out in the runes. And then I did a second reading, and the WV came out in the reading itself. And then finally, when I was able to do a reading and uploaded it last night, the WV came out again. So it really came out 3 times yesterday. And I had mentioned that because I do make the connection with it showing, as many of you know, I take phonics and everything, and it literally means the tent peg nail and to secure the rope from slipping, and all that kind of stuff. But again, the word that can be found if you run it in itself with the pictograph is Yahweh, and Yahweh or Jehovah is also, that name can be connected to that as well. And if you are new, I'm not religious. I used to be extremely religious, but I'm not. I'm very spiritual, and I'm on the search for truth and to help liberate people's mind from things, because all of us have had a lot of twisting. Those of you who have grown up in really strict spiritual homes, okay? And anyway, I know I bring out a lot of things that are controversial. I don't have anything else to do but to sit here and to meditate and to listen into my own spirit and connect with the divine of truth and peace, and just ask him to just lead the way in things that I need to understand, and why certain things are coming through my spirit. I don't know. Explain that to me. I don't know. Why do you think the things that you do? But it gets my wheels going to just do research and just to look up certain things, actually, because he told me to go to the root, okay? And he untwisted in that vision that I've shared many times on this channel. He's the one untwisted that dark rope that I spoke about and unfurled it. Anyway, going back, so I do want to talk about the God of War, which would be in the Old Testament. And I went, and I have also brought out, obviously we read from the right to the left when we're looking at Hebraic writings and old writings. That's how they read. They read from the right to the left, and, everything's just flip-flopped nowadays. So I look at things both direction, okay, and get all kinds of information spiritually from that. And so with the word war is the other direction, raw. And I just pointed out yesterday that we have really been in a really horrible raw war, okay, with people just being just raw in just the way you act towards someone, or in literally people just literally killing people, and bloodthirsty people out there who've just gotten their just generations of that stuff going on, and people being taught to hunt people and acting like animals and stupid stuff like that. And given everything that has came out on this channel, as far as how spirit will express itself in all kinds of ways, shapes, and forms, and how I had shared on here how the divine told me to not discard any of the phonics because it still has a connection to words that still are going to express itself around you and I for whatever purpose that it is finding itself around us in our situation. And if it's catching your eye and the divine's allowing something to have you look at something, or something's going off in your spirit about it, then don't discard that ever. But anyway, I wanted to look at the word war, which obviously it takes us to difficulty and disputes and things like that, which is real shame that people just can't sit down and have a conversation. Okay, it's got to be my way or the highway, and nobody likes that. Okay, neither side that's warring likes the other side to think that they want their way. We should be able to come to some type of an agreement where peace is concerned, and not be selfish in things, but people are prideful, and that's why in every person at it's any given time in our lives, you know, in a place of immaturity where you and I have tried to grow up in different situations. We've all been guilty of it. None of us can say that we haven't. But there's some really bad warring that's been going on, even in secret and behind the scenes and things like that. But anyway, obviously war means to be in difficulty and have a dispute and just being real hostile. You know, it's the spirit of a thing, just being real hostile on the inside. You can be at war with somebody, didn't even know you're in war with them, and somebody just having something going off on the inside, but secretly warring against you. That's called secret enemies, and that's dangerous. It's why we have to have a connection to the divine of truth to be able to have our intuition exercised. Because of idiots out there. Anyway, so going back to war, it represented, you know, just being in conflict and combat, and being perplexed was there. And when you are in war, and if you're dealing with somebody, if you're in the upright and somebody brings some type of a war to you, it's really easy sometimes to get down in there with that. I mean, because, you know, we've all been guilty of that. But if you really do have uprightness in you, that will win out within you every single time. That even though you may feel like in a moment to want to get back, and we do have to get up and war against wickedness like that. But we must always understand that we're warring against spiritual things. Okay, it is playing out in this natural realm, but it really is coming from another dimension. I believe that if people could just get that and you know, be able to just sit and talk with you, somebody who's having a disagreement with you, and it's really getting somebody just riled up, and just have some type of a light go off and go, wait a minute, why are you getting riled up? That's not a right spirit to operate that way. You know, we could really come a long ways in the earth if people would just grow up. It really does go back to a place of being mature and growing up, okay? And everybody growing up to a place of love that really should cover all kinds of what we'd call sin or offenses and things like that. It's just pride keeps us away from that stuff. And it really does get really down and dirty and stuff like that, and people trying to put confusion on you. And so the word to be confused was connected to this word war, and to be perplexed and mixed up in things. The word mix actually came out today on today's word reading that we did, and it came out yesterday as well. And some things are good mixtures and some things aren't, okay? So I went back to strife, which is horrible, and struggling. The word warpath was connected to, and some people are on a warpath. It's a real shame. The word war games actually was attached to this when I went to go look it up. And how many times have I stated on here that I heard in my spirit that the divine said it's only just a game to them. Oh, they're having God wars out there. Okay, people are just puffed up in their pride, and just it's become a raw war hunter games. Okay, the hunting games. Okay, we have to say that because within the word war is raw. And the word raw went to things that are uncooked. Okay, just talking about people really are trying to hunt people down because we know there are cannibals in the land and things like that. And then it is what it is. Uncooked things. This took me to a connection. It literally said raw flesh. It took me to obviously being crude, just being really crude. That's just being raw. Okay, and this took me though to the pancreas. I thought that was really interesting that this was connected to all of this stuff. The gland of the abdomen, and it went to sweet bread. Well, anyway, given again energy flow of how all kinds of things that have words connected to it. No wonder we have scripture that says, let the whole earth just be still before me. Okay, because we really have gotten in a place where people's words and actions and all kinds of stuff has taken a root and seed and has literally just sprung out like all kinds of stuff in the earth. And so hello to our world then today, because all this crap. But it literally, this raw literally went to the gland of the abdomen and was connected to sweet bread. It meant entirely flesh. Interesting. It also took me to a connection of something being gored, blood, thick clotted blood, dirt, dung, mud, animal dung, to pierce, to stab with the spear. And it literally gave me the word shit. And actually, in the Hebrew, the word shit means your bottom or something like that. Anyways, that's where we get that word. So anyway, gore also represented a triangular piece of ground, which I thought this was really interesting, given that we have religious wars going on. And not to, if you pay attention to commercials and people, the way they're standing and they're talking, pay attention to their hands, often give you the triangle little symbol there. And I actually drove down the road, and actually it's the next word. I guess I'll go back to that. I'll bring that up when I get to this word. But anyway, they'll give you that little triangle piece of information there, tell you what kind of group they're in. Hopefully that represents you people are trying to get rid of this kind of stuff, and that you're not people who are goring people. I don't know. This was interesting to me, though, going back to religious wars and things like that, something that the Christ actually said in the Greek writings about being the corner that was rejected and stuff like that. It brought out something like that. I guess I didn't write it down, but it did bring out something to that effect that was connected to that. I thought that was really interesting. But the gore is the triangular piece of the ground, a corner point of land, a wedge, a cape as well. It also took me to connections of a gar and talking about a spear that I just brought up a second ago. The pike-like fish. Now today, when we did that reading, we had the actual word fish come out on the meaning of the noon, which was the 14th letter of the Hebrew, and often bring out things about something could have happened on a fishing trip, or you like to fish or something like that. But we did literally have the word fish come out today, and so it's coming out again in the study here, and we're leaving the fish age where we are dealing with religious things as well, and people waking up to things that have been sown on the inside of our mind, and we're waking up and growling from all kinds of just the truth, knowing things, what's really going on. And for some people, it has just it's horrible. It's been a horrible war for people to get their mind untwisted and to also realize some things that have been written in that book to confuse. The word was with war was to confuse someone, and we know that people have given this book to bring all kinds of confusion out, and no wonder we all have all this crap expressing itself. Anyway, what I was going to say earlier, I've actually driven down the road and have looked up and seen on the side of, I don't know that if it was a company or not, but somebody literally had the GAR on their vehicle, and the other direction is a rag as well. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I just want to quickly bring that out. But the GAR is the pike-like fish that has a spear, okay, a stick. It actually took me to the goad, G-O-A-D, or is that gold? I don't know. Anyway, it took me to an arrowhead. Isn't that interesting? The arrow, we have all kinds of connections that I can bring with that, as far as I can just bring all kinds of different connections. I won't for time's sake. But the arrowhead is here, and that's something huge with that. Anyway, a pointed stick used for driving cattle. We've been talking a lot about the cattle and the snake and all this stuff, and that stuff does need to get out of the land, okay, unless you are that. And hopefully you're going after all that kind of stuff, I hope. And so I'm right there with you then. Okay, I'm not your enemy. Whoever's tried to make me an enemy, I'm not your enemy. I'm trying to bring truth out for people to get out of this raw war, this sick behavior that's been in the earth, really. So anything, the GAR also just went back to figuratively speaking, is using it to stimulate or to urge or to prod somebody to go into a direction. Well, the only thing we need to be prodding people to do is to stand upright and to be even and to be in truth, okay? And to not violate somebody else by way of, trying to get what we want or being, look, it really does go back to the motive of the heart. It really does. War only happens because of the motive of the heart. And people want what they want because they don't have, they're just prideful. And look what procession now we are entering into, leaving the fish age, waking up now, and now we got to deal with people in their pride for generation after generation after generation in the new ages that are ahead of us now, and have to really face some truth here, and some of it's really hard truth, and get out of our pride, and because we really do know on the inside if the motive is upright or not, people, we really do, okay? And people who are blood drunken, nasty energies that have been allowed to roam this earth, they are the ones that really do need to be pushed and prod and thrown into a cooker and get rid of them if they don't want to straighten up, if they don't want to listen to love, to kindness, to being upright. Who wants to go into a place of business? I don't care. I mean, unless you're just twisted. But even the twisted person don't want to be done wrong, because then they'll go off on you. So, to look in your own mirror is huge. It really is huge, and people don't or haven't wanted to. And it's hopefully some people are saying, "Let me look at myself," because if we don't look at ourselves, we're screwed. We really are screwed, because there's something from another dimension leading this thing, and talking about a god of war. If we're talking about the god of war that we read about in the Old Testament, then, and like I brought out, because it does Yahweh, Jehovah does represent a god of war, and we're also told he teaches our fingers how to war. That's positive if it's in the upright. Okay, if it's in the upright and it's in truth. Okay, like I said, I heard my spirit. I play both sides. I've also read it in the scripture at the same time. We are constantly being tested in our heart, and that humbles me, really. To know that there is a God who is testing us, and also testing other people, and we got people who can't pass a test that cause the war, and so in that war they're pushing and pulling and prodding their way. You've got to sit and evaluate and still get up and fight, not the person at the same time. You're attacking it from a spiritual point of view, and really everything really does work together. It really does. Talk about it's beyond us. It really is beyond us. This is profound to me. And but anyway, I just wanted to bring this out for no really big reason except to just share it. If anything that I bring out helps anybody, then great. If it didn't resonate with you, it didn't resonate with you. But it's for my own channel, I guess. And I'm bored, and I don't have anybody to talk to. So again, I talk to you all because I've had to deal with kooks out there trying to, you know, find some kind of sweet bread because they think I am, and I'm not. Okay, I'm upright. Okay, and I'm not afraid to get up and war for uprightness' sake. And I get real frustrated with certain things that have literally played out in this earth realm because of games that people have played, and hunter games, war games, spiritual magic games, things like that. Doesn't it make you mad? Isn't it time to say game over now? Look, we're told that the earth is fixed forever. I believe that. Look how old the earth is. Okay? Anyway, I'm not going to go off on another little trail here. I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. If today was your birthday, I just want to say happy birthday to you. And if you do have a special day with somebody that you are celebrating an anniversary with, or the anniversary of something, then I hope it's fantastic for you all. Until next time, shalom.